Here all new on the WHAS 11 night team. This time tomorrow night, we're going to be following snow in Kentuckiana and bitter cold. Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us on the night team. I'm Doug Proffitt. And just in tonight, meteorologist Colleen Peterson has now updated those snow totals. Colleen, you're going to walk us through these very late changes coming in.
Yeah, well, Doug, snow totals are tricky when we're talking about a system that's heading our way first in the afternoon, but secondly, when it's probably going to melt by the time it hits the ground around 4 or 5 p.m. Not until 6, 7 p.m. right in the second half of the snow, well, we'll start to see it accumulate. So I think more snow is going to fall than accumulates on the ground. So 2 to 11 p.m. we'll start to see the rain transition to snow, slippery commute for your evening hours. I'm talking 5, 6, 7 o'clock is that peak window of seeing the snow out there. So let's go ahead and walk you through that forecast. That low pressure system is off to the west. It is going to track to the south. Trends are keeping it to the south. So that means higher confidence that we are likely going to see snow here across Kentuckiana. So 2 p.m. we'll start to see the rain enter our western communities around Brandenburg and Litchfield, starting to see those snow showers as early as 2 o'clock for Seymour and Paoli. I think here in the metro we'll start to see the impacts around 4 or 5 p.m. Wet snow is in that forecast north of I-64. That's when we're tracking to see accumulating snow around 1 to 2 inches. Farther south, Campbellsville, you're right going to be on that divide. I think those communities could even see some sleet mixed in with that rain and snow, but thankfully no freezing rain in that forecast. Temperatures are just going to be a little bit too cold. By 9 p.m. most of that rain and snow is going to start to clear out. So really by 11 o'clock, we're going to be done. It is an evening system. So 4, 5, 6 p.m. I'll talk more about those impacts we can have here in the latest snow totals coming up. Doug?
Colleen, thank you. Right now, our top story, tragedy at the UPS Worldport headquarters at the Louisville airport late today. An employee there is killed. Metro Police tonight releasing details on the fatality involving a vehicle at the UPS Worldport. UPS also sending out a statement. Now, this was the scene shortly after 4:30 this afternoon. WHAS 11 News saw emergency vehicles and many responders on the property off Grade Lane. Earlier tonight, the Louisville Fire Department told us that their crews were called to this area for an extrication of a person involving a semi. Police say the man who was hit by the semi was killed at the scene. LMPD tonight also adding in their statement that no foul play is suspected in this. And in a statement sent to WHAS 11 News tonight, UPS says, quote, they are deeply saddened by the passing of an employee today at Worldport. Our thoughts are with their family. Tonight, people in Kansas City gathering for a candlelight vigil following the shooting that broke out at the end of the Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl victory parade this week. Crowds gathered right here close together at this small park, holding candles and praying over the injured. Police say 22 people were hit by gunfire. Half of those injured are under the age of 16. Radio DJ Lisa Lopez Galvin was killed in the shooting. Friends remembered her at tonight's vigil.
She was a good person. It was senseless. Senseless. And it's just so hard to understand. And I hope that we can learn from this. But I hate that God took such a beautiful person.
Earlier today, aerial footage of the scene capturing a new message of hope left by police. Officers clearing the scene, gathering white chairs left out from yesterday's rally and spelling out KC Strong. You see it right there. It's the first significant change to a scene left untouched in the chaos following the shooting. The message of hope reiterated today by the Kansas City mayor.
So I don't think in any way that this is Kansas City. I do think that there's a gun violence challenge in this community and many others, and there certainly is a gun violence challenge as it relates to major events. That, however, does not mean that Kansas City will stop having major events.
Police Chief Stacey Graves saying today the shooting started as a fight between several people. It was not a case of terrorism. So far, Kansas City police have 3 people in custody. 2 of them are minors. Now the city is focused on their next big event. That's the upcoming St. Patrick's Day Parade. They are not going to be canceling it, instead ramping up security and looking at the risks that could be involved. Well, on that topic, right here in Louisville, the very same questions have been raised about our big upcoming events. How safe are you at parades, Thunder over Louisville, and the Kentucky Derby? We took that question to a veteran local police chief and the longtime organizer of next month's St. Patrick's Day Parade. WHAS11 19's Taylor Woods and photojournalist Elijah McKenzie are live right now along that parade route, which is in the Highlands. Taylor?
Well, Doug, organizers for some of our city's most biggest events have already been getting ready for those big festivities like the St. Patrick's Day Parade and Derby events, but safety is their top concern. In 1 month, thousands of people will jam in along Baxter Avenue to cheer on what will be the 51st St. Patrick's Day Parade in Louisville. Longtime parade coordinator John O'Dwyer has been thinking about what happened in Kansas City.
First thing I thought of was pray for the victims.
But he's also assuring Louisvillians that they will feel safe in the massive crowd.
As far as our parade, I'm very confident in what we do. You can't account for everything, but we sure do try to account for it as best we can.
O'Dwyer told us 85% of the parade's budget is spent on security alone. Even bigger than that, the Kentucky Derby Festival's events, including Thunder over Louisville, usually drawing over 500,000 people to the waterfront. And the 150th Kentucky Derby this year could be an attendance record breaker. Former Louisville Metro Police Commander, now St. Matthews Police Chief Barry Wilkerson, says St. Matthews is always ready to assist Louisville Metro Police with security.
We prepare for those. Are you ever truly prepared for something of that large scale? I think we just do the best we can and make it as safe we can for the community.
Wilkerson knows firsthand how well the police department prepares for safety.
We do a very good job. There's a lot of planning that goes into effect. Even in my former job with Louisville Metro Police.
O'Dwyer says his team cares more about the people than the parade. He expects this year to be another great turnout.
We've never had an issue. We want to plan for not having issues, and we don't expect issues.
And take a look. This is the parade route for the St. Patrick's Day Parade just along Baxter Avenue. You can see how narrow this street is. It's perfect enough for law enforcement to walk up and down the parade route as they canvass and save the community. And tonight, the Kentucky Derby Festival sent in a list of those agencies that they use for safety. In a statement, a spokesperson said, quote, those agencies include LMPD, Metro Safe, Louisville Metro EMS, Louisville Fire and Rescue, EMA, Homeland Security, Kentucky State Police, and others. We'll continue to work closely with these partners should we need to make any changes for the upcoming festival. Reporting live in Louisville, Taylor Woods, WHAS 1119 on your side.
Taylor, thank you very much. At the Kentucky Capitol, lawmakers and advocates rallying today, urging the General Assembly to pass gun violence prevention measures. This was the scene inside the Capitol Rotunda, the Lieutenant Governor joining gun safety groups and families of gun violence victims. They included Tyree Smith's mother, who has been pushing for change ever since her son was killed in a bus stop shooting in the Louisville Russell neighborhood 3 years ago.
I made the calls. I did everything I could to prevent and let everyone know, hey, this bus stop isn't safe for these kids. So less than 2 weeks later, my son is injured. It was just the worst thing that I can imagine. We got to end this. I'm so tired of every time I look at the news, I'm seeing another mother crying. I'm seeing another father out here losing their kid.
The safety bill is called the Car Bill. It was introduced at the end of January. It's still waiting to be sent to a committee before it can be heard on the Kentucky Senate floor. That's the bill that would let a court decide if law enforcement could temporarily take away somebody's guns. Police are investigating after a shooting in Old Louisville near 3 well-known public schools. Just before 1 today, officers responded to 2nd and Hill. That's not far from Manual High School, No Middle School, and the Youth Performing Arts School. When officers arrived, they found a man who had been shot. He was taken to the hospital where he's expected to survive. JCPS confirms that No Middle and Manual were on heightened security for about an hour this afternoon due to that shooting, but the students and the staff remained safe. Right now, police have no suspects, but if you can help detectives, call the anonymous tip line at 574-LMPD. All new right now on the WHAS11 night team, a former Metro government employee is now suing the city, claiming she was fired after raising ethics concerns over First Lady Rachel Greenberg's role in her husband's administration. WHAS11 night team's Connor Steffen is talking with the woman's attorney, and the mayor also talked about the accusations.
It's confusing also being in this role.
The First Lady of Louisville, Rachel Greenberg, is named in a new lawsuit, questioning her role in Metro government and how much power she yields in her husband's administration.
The mayor's wife is exercising the function of a supervisor in Metro government. She's given orders, given instructions, given deadlines, scheduling meetings, and that is what we consider to be a violation of Metro government's ethics code.
The mayor, though, remaining steadfast in his support of her.
Rachel's commitment to kids and young adults and improving the quality of education in our schools is amazing.
Louisville attorney Thomas Clay says Samantha Ricketts, the woman who hired him, is a former Metro government graphics specialist employee. She says she was fired after raising concerns over potential ethics violations by Rachel Greenberg.
She had raised her concerns to a supervisor who indicated to her that he had taken it to, quote, the fourth floor, unquote, which is the mayor's office. The elimination of her position followed shortly after.
In a statement, Mayor Craig Greenberg referred to Ricketts as, quote, a disgruntled former employee, adding she, quote, applied for and was offered another position that better matched her career goals at the same salary.
Well, in my travels through the litigation involving employment law, it's often a tactic for an employer to, quote, eliminate, unquote, a position and then resurrect it in another location.
WHAS 11 News joined Mayor Greenberg at an event earlier Thursday to ask about the whistleblower lawsuit.
This is a bunch of recycled and false claims. This has no merit.
Along with seeking a jury trial and monetary damages, Clay says he and Ricketts are looking to bring transparency to the mayor's office.
The mayor's supposed to operate his office ethically, and according to what has happened here, he did not do that.
The city of Louisville elected me to make our city safer, stronger, and healthier. And that's what my administration and I are going to be focused on. So we're not going to be distracted by this.
In the meantime, Rachel Greenberg continues her role as First Lady in an undeterred administration. In Louisville, Connor Steffen, the WHAS 11 night team, on your side.
The lawsuit alleges the city violated the Kentucky Whistleblower Act and that Mayor Greenberg previously made false statements regarding his wife's role in response to a separate ethics complaint. Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear is responding to comments made by Republican Senator Rand Paul that Andy Beshear could beat Mitch McConnell right now for that Senate seat. Senator Paul says the Democratic governor could easily beat Mitch McConnell if the Senate race were held today. Paul has been critical of McConnell for his support of sending more money to Ukraine. The senator says McConnell is out of touch with Kentucky Republicans on this issue, and Governor Beshear would win by a large margin. Today, the governor was asked about the potential of a Senate run after these comments.
I'd rather be governor of the Commonwealth of Kentucky than a U.S. senator from any state. I'm flattered that Rand Paul thinks I'd win that election, but I'm perfectly happy where I am. My hope is, regardless of how much influence Mitch McConnell has or Rand Paul has or anyone else, that they will all get their act together, work for the betterment of this country, be for something and not against someone.
Mitch McConnell still has a few years left on his current term. His seat won't be up for re-election until November of 2026.